the Choco Mucho Flying Titans want to stop a losing skid before they continue sliding down our team standings as they face Aiza Maizo Puntillas and the Galleries Tower High Risers, who are coming off one of the more surprising wins here in our All-Filipino conference so far, and that sets up our story for this one. It's the Choco Mucho Flying Titans taking on the Galleries Tower High Risers, all live on One Sports and the Pilipinas Live app. So glad you could join us for our coverage. Dip Bianco alongside Alfred Balbuena and Jules Yashel. We're coming off a 5-setter just a while ago, Jules, but this one, two teams of contrasting stories, should be a good one.
Yeah, definitely. And when I spoke with them today, you know, it's pressure versus possibility in tonight's matchup. And it's going to be very exciting to see how these two players, given their situation, will show up today.
Yeah, we're excited to hear your stories later on. But first, Alfred, tignan natin yung team standings after the match earlier. For sure, may onting shake-up na naman sa ating team standings. And how does it look like right now in the first half of our elimination round?
Yeah, as we know, Capital won 1 while ago against the Farm Fresh in 5 sets, wherein they're now up in the standings. Well, we'll talk about the teams now who are playing. We know Choco Mucho needs a win again to get back in the winning column. And of course, the Galleries Tower here, surprisingly having 2 wins already in this conference. So, and they're hoping to surpass that record, because I think in their whole category here in the conference, they only won 2 games.
Yeah, Devin, Alfred, you mentioned that shake-up in the standings, and of course, this is orchestrated by none other than our setters. And today's setter matchup is very interesting. We are very excited to see how Dina Wong and Julia Coronel will be strategizing and activating their hitters in tonight's game. And yeah, that's also our Pilipinas Live question. So if you have your bets or your answers, then just answer that in our Pilipinas Live app.
Yeah, I'm very curious about this matchup too, because Alfred, alam natin, setters are very crucial in a game, so these two players will be key in our matchup tonight. Speaking of setters, yun yung una natin pag-uusapan for the Choco Mucho Flying Titans. You know, injuries here and there for their squad, but one consistent healthy player so far for them in this conference has been Dina Wong, and she played well in that game against Capital One Solar Spikers.
Yeah, you were saying that a setter is really a crucial, vital role in a team here. So in volleyball, parang sila yung driver. They really manage the offense of a team. That's really crucial, especially yung system ng coaches that they wanna really give it to their best here. Well, she made 16 excellent sets in their last game against Capital One, despite having that loss. No? Pero she managed to distribute it well. 3 spikers under her scored the double figures. Cici Rondina with 22 points, Kat Tolentino with 19, and Des Cheng with 15 big points. No?
You mentioned one of those 3 spikers that we want to focus more on. You got to speak with her, Jules. Sino pa ba? Or ano pa ba yung inaabangan nila for this matchup?
Yes, Dip and Alfred, you know, apart from Dina Wong, one person who really stood up last game was their captain, Desiree Cheng. And you know, last game, Aya Laure was sidelined because of a minor injury, but fans will be happy to know that she is back in the action today. And while she was sidelined, Des Cheng really stepped up big. You know, prior to that game, she was just a serve specialist for now, and then yeah, she really showed her all-around skills with the numbers that you will be talking about later. You'll see here on our screen, just 15 big points for the Choco Mucho Flying Titans. And then Dati Alinton Sunurin, their coach, told them that, you know, I always trust and have confidence in Des Cheng. They know they have a deep bench. You know, Des, she's leading a team with so much experience and veteran leadership. So it's not their skill or their technique that they have to change today. It is their approach. You know, that precision, that poise, and that patience that they have inside the court. So definitely that's something we will see if they want to get back to the win column today.
You know, whenever you get a performance like that from Des Cheng, that's a welcome sight for the Choco Mucho Flying Titans, now that they know when they have a player down, merong ibang ready to step up for their squad. Lipat tayo sa kabila for the Galleries Tower High Risers. Also their setter, we want to talk about Julia Coronel. She was a spotlight, and she was the foundation of that tower for the High Risers against the big win over Next Level.
Yeah, you know, there's a 3rd overall pick in that PVL draft. Julia Coronel underwent 3 coaches already. So yeah, alam this player is really capable of leading a team. No, I've seen her through her high school days. No, she was one of the setters also in Colegio San Agustin.
Yeah.
She is also a Julia, named Julia. So parang siya yung pumalit kay Julia Morado. Yeah, Julia Morado ngayon. She's really playing well. And she's also a tall player. Expect her that she can also lead in defense, especially of offense also.
That's one of her best games so far, and more importantly, nakuha nila yung panalo na yun against the next led Chameleons. And of course, this is a huge feat for them, Jules, because it's the first time ever that they beat next led in the PVL.
Yeah, definitely. You know, Julia Coronel is beyond happy as both captain and setter. Those are two big roles that she is just handling with a lot of composure, and because of that, she credits a lot of their winning streak or winning momentum right now to their team culture. So ang sabi niya sa akin kanina, in her own words, puksaan ang nangyayari sa training. So what happens during those trainings is healthy banter, you know, they have stare downs, and that just helps them like push each other pa to be more competitive. You know, that healthy competition is now being fostered within next led. That is really fueling their winning momentum. And you mentioned that their last win was a big one. It was their first ever against the franchise, and they're proud that their efforts are finally translating. You know, this is the proof that patience is paying off, and they truly want to play with enjoyment. Yun yung pinaka-sinabi sa akin ni Julia kanina. They just want to enjoy each game. No pressure, not detached to the outcome. And you know, if they continue playing like this, Dip and Alfred, it seems like they won't be underdogs for too long.
Yeah.
And speaking of Julia Coronel, obviously a while ago we also talked about Dina Wong. It's going to be an exciting setter matchup tonight. And that's why we want you to converse with us on the Pilipinas Live app and answer the question, which setter will orchestrate a win for their team today? Will it be Julia Coronel or Dina Wong? And if you have more thoughts, then converse with us online with the hashtag PVL2026.
All right, we'll leave the fans to it to answer that question over on the Pilipinas Live app, and we'll leave you with this feature of the Rookie Rap featuring Gene Assis, and then we give you the matchup between the Choco Mucho Flying Titans and the Galleries Tower High Risers, all here on One Sports and the Pilipinas Live app.
G. So I have questions for you. How have you seen yourself grow in your rookie year?
Sobrang daming nagbago sa sarili ko. Sa akin mismo as a player. Kasi parang mas naging mature ako sa mga bagay-bagay. Inside ng court, outside ng court. And dahil din sa influence ng mga iba kong teammates. Ate, paano mo ako nakita mag-grow this year?
Nandun yung maturity mo. Nakikita ko every day, every training na talagang sinisikap mo na andito ka na sa pro level. Iba yung sa UAAP, but nadala mo yung aggressiveness mo sa pro. So, nakita ko na naging mature ka na every training, sa game. So, yun yung nakikita ko talaga sa'yo lang.
Kinikilig naman ako.
Ano ka? How have your ates and teammates helped you grow in the PVL?
Siyempre, as a rookie, hindi naman ganun agad na magkakaroon ako ng idea kung paano yung pamumuhay bilang PVL player. Iba yung pro, iba yung collegiate. So, parang sa everyday na advices ng mga ates ko, parang ang dami kong matutunan kung ano bang dapat gawin, ano ba dapat kong galawin sa pang-araw-araw. Sa mga sinasabi niyo, ate, lahat, natutunan nyo.
Tulak ka?
Yes.
May tulong. Since this is your last conference as a rookie, what do you want to prove in the PVL?
Ayoko naman natapusin yung rookie season ko na hindi maganda. Gusto ko na sa last conference ko as a rookie, babigay ko yung best ko, makatulong ako sa team, lalo na sa mga bago nating kasama ate, na makapanalo ng games. Hindi man agad-agad, makukuha yung gusto, pero at least, di ba, nandun na tayo, papunta na tayo doon.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is match number 24 of the PVL All-Filipino Conference 2026 between the Choco Mucho Flying Titans and the Galleries Tower High Risers. Let's first meet our officials for this match. Our first referee, Erlindo Eusebio, national referee. The second referee is Jofer Educado, national referee. And now let's meet the starters. First for the Choco Mucho Flying Titans. Outside spiker from De La Salle University, number 2, team captain Des Chang. Opposite hitter from the Ateneo de Manila University, number 10, Kat Tolentino. Middle blocker from the University of the Philippines, number 15, Jai Atienza. Middle blocker from Arellano University, number 17, Lorraine Pecaña. Outside spiker from the University of Santo Tomas, number 18, Cici Rondina. Center from Central Washington University, number 20, Tia Andaya. Starting libero from Adamson University is number 16, Tang Ponce. The head coach for Choco Mucho, Dante Alinsunurin Jr. And now the starters for the Galleries Tower High Risers. Center from De La Salle University, number 5, team captain Julia Coronel. Opposite hitter from the University of Santo Tomas, number 8, Aiza Maizo Pontillas. Outside spiker from the College of St. Benil, number 9, Gail Pascual. Middle blocker from the Far Eastern University, number 10, Jean Asis. Middle blocker from the University of the East, number 12, Rosel Baditon. Outside spiker from Andaran College, number 17, Erica Deloria. Starting libero from Jose Rizal University, number 16, Dolly Versosa. The head coach for Galleries Tower, Clarence Aying Esteban. This game is held under the supervision and regulation of the Games and Amusements Board. It is Choco Mucho versus Galleries Tower.
Check out the starters for the Choco Mucho Flying Titans. Yeah, Atienza, Pecaña, Tolentino, Tia Andaya will make a first start at the center position here, and alongside Des Cheng, Cici Rondina, and their libero Tang Ponce. For the high risers, you have Asis, Baleton, Pontillas, Coronel, Pascual, Deloria, and Verzosa. So no changes on the side of Coach Aying from his big win over the next net Camillans, and rightfully so, Alfred. If you are coming off that type of a game wherein you beat a powerhouse team, then you don't need to change anything.
And now you can see also Andaya starting for the Choco Mucho.
Yun yung
some
isa
changes.
sa mga binago ni Coach Dante Alinsunurin for the side of the Flying Titans. We'll see how that will have an effect on their game today. Meanwhile, the first point goes to Galleries Tower.
You know, Cici Rondina, after that set, it was quite close to the net there. Too low for her reach, and both blockers for the high risers are already there in front of her.
High risers are coming off a 13 block performance as a team in their win over next net. And then here we go, ace right away for Julia Coronel, who was one of our main topics din sa pregame natin earlier, Alfred. We talked about how great she played, how she was so instrumental against the Chameleons.
Yeah, 5 big points there, and now scoring a point right away.
Here she is, setting up the attack to Pascual. Nilipat kay Maizo Pontillas. Cheng got there, but Choco Mucho unable to send it over. That's 3 unanswered points for Galleries Tower.
Yeah, it's a second effort here for the Flying Titans. No? Nandun na sila eh. The ball is up in the air, but that extra effort coming from her other teammates, yun yung kulang.
Choco Mucho still looking for their first point. And they get it via that violation, a net fault on Maizo Pontillas.
On the side of the Flying Titans, it seems like the galleries already parang na-scout na nila who would they always go to, especially if Cici Rondina is in front. Always 2 blockers right in front of her. That will be challenging for the Flying Titans.
Oh, that was a good ball from Verzosa, but the High Risers couldn't convert on the middle attack of Asis.
Yeah, the ball was quite low there on that set coming from Coronel, but great play. No blockers in front of her, just one who really helped.
Back-to-back points for Choco Mucho. Aiza trying to go off the block, but that one went in, and also, again, a net violation. So 2 of the 3 points of Choco Mucho coming from those unforced errors.
Julia Coronel still finding Maizo Pontillas here in terms of offense, because we know she can really score for us, her squad.
Oh, breaking the block was Gail Pascual.
There we go, Pascual scoring sheets now, scoring that point.
So the Flying Titans responding with 3 straight of their own. The Galleries Tower able to maintain the lead. Rondina trying to go for that spin. Back with the Flying Titans, and Cat Tolentino scores.
Cat Tolentino, if she will be effective, if she gets her game going, I think she can be one of the scorers also, and a deadly attacker for the Flying Titans. She just needs the perfect set there. No?
4 all. Overpass. Lucky break for Galleries Tower to get the ball back, and that will be out. So Choco Mucho gets the lead for the first time.
Yeah, Maizo Pontillas here having troubles in terms of attacking. Doesn't find her groove. Seems like she's having a hard time in terms of the blockers who is covering her area, because she's really familiar with that down the line hit. No? Pero talagang skin out siya ng Flying Titans, covering that area of hers.
Lorraine Pecaña delivers an ace for the Flying Titans to give them a 2-point advantage. Biglang nahuhulog yung bola na yun.
Ganda ng float talagang. Kita mo, it was floating mid-air, pero at the last second, bumababa yung bola.
But that one is short, so just giving the point back to Galleries Tower.
Now serving for Galleries Tower.
So it has been the errors here coming from the Galleries Tower.
As is serving. Andaya goes to Tolentino. That's what they want from Cat.
And you know, you can see here on the replay.
Spike of the set brought to you by Dunkin. Pasalubong ng bayan. I think she gave a smile after that, which means she loved that set from Andaya.
It was also great find, Andaya finding the smaller blocker.
That one won't be saved, and Cici having a little fun with the crowd. Went straight into the first row of the spectators here. Look at that.
Pero kung wala din mga spectators, no, it seems like that ball would be still alive.
Parang yun yung sinabi ni Cici, no? Kaya pa niya sana, but all smiles there. That one is out for Atienza. No touch. So another deadlock here.
Yeah, she was late on that approach. Talagang sinubukan niyang habulin yung bola, but sometimes on running, you need to be early to see or ahead of the ball, no, para makita mo kung saan yung trajectory ng bola.
Tia sets up Cheng. That goes over, but that one was too tight for Galleries Tower, and Cheng takes advantage to take us to the first technical timeout.
CC Rondina, the ever-stable and steady on-court leader of the Choco Mucho Flying Titans, is determined to turn things around today. CC said what lacked in their last game is their grit and composure. Grit in those tight sets and composure in those deciding moments that they still need to work on. It's not any more patience, but consistency that they need to heighten when opponents get the best of them and when momentum seems to swing across the net. When I asked her how today's outcome will be different, ang sagot niya, gigil akong manalo at yun ang ipapakita ko. This hunger to win and strive to hunger is what she'll share with the rest of the squad to get back to the win column today.
Thanks a lot, Jules. Gutom na gutom yung Choco Mucho, Alfred, because of where they are at right now after that opening win. They slid down to the standings. And speaking of being hungry, Des Cheng, she's hungry for these aces back-to-back.
Yeah, you know, Des Cheng was really their service specialist in their previous game before Aya Laure having that injury, no? She's really stepping up big time here. Yun yung kailangan dito ng Choco Mucho, eh. Coming off the bench, always ready, helping her squad.
Well, finally, Galleries Tower able to pick that up, but it's back with Choco Mucho, an easy ball. Aiza says it's mine, guides the ball towards Julia. Ponce sets up Rondina. Scrambling are the high risers. Dug by Ponce. Here comes CC. That is returned to sender.
It will really be a challenging day for CC now, because you know you have tall blockers in front of you, Baliton and Coronel. So Andaya needs to shuffle her attack here. Alam natin kaya naman mag-back row dito ni Kat Tolentino, so sometimes she needs to go tight.
Yeah. Down by 2. Back to 3 though after that serve from Deloria.
You know what? Sobrang deep dito ng bench ng Choco Mucho. You can see Isa Molde still at the sidelines with Madi Madayag. No, talagang even you have Dindin Santiago Manabat and even Aya Laure not yet playing.
Well, nice to see Aya earlier warming up. Suited up here. Yet to see or find out if she will play. That will depend on Coach Dante, but what an athletic move by Julia Coronel.
She's really an attacking setter with 2 points already.
Nice dig from Baliton, their top scorer last game. Attack was picked up by Ponce. CC. Soft touch. Kept alive. Good effort for the high risers. Cheng from the back. That is out.
I think the ball was too low for her, or the timing coming from Cheng.
But we're seeing good action from both teams. Maganda yung palitan dito, Alfred.
Defense after defense. Everyone really on their feet.
Yeah. Doesn't end with one attack attempt alone.
It only ends with a service error. Mga errors lang talaga.
Yun lang, which is obviously what they don't want to happen. We've seen a couple from Galleries Tower and one from Choco Mucho, those service errors. Coronel had to kneel. Better setup this time for Pascual. Saved by Andaya. Pump set to Tolentino. Rejected. But play on. Back with the white shirts. The slide by Ashes. It's a long rally. And Tolentino comes up short. Nabitin lang.
Yeah. The ball was too short for her. Yeah, naman she was attempting, great intention though, targeting that setter's area for that drop ball. Kaso yun nga lang, medyo nabitin siya on that power.
One-point game. Pinabawi si Kat. Julia gets it. Maizo Puntillas. Cheng looks at her teammates to save it, and they do so.
Wow.
Oh, incredible one from Ponce. But Ashes puts it away from the middle.
Yeah, what's nice about the Galleries Tower here, they have been on point in terms of counter-attack. Pag nade-depensa nila yung bola, coming from a free ball or a chance ball, expect them that they can really score a point right away. Kaya nakakahabol sila here or nakakalamang din.
12 all. Chance for Galleries Tower to get the lead once more, and they get it back.
Pascual has been a scoring machine here, giving the floor defense of the Flying Titans a hard time, no?
Yeah.
So now they need to communicate more in terms of blocking and the floor defense. Medyo nawawala dito sa pwesto si Tang Ponce.
Ganda ng balanse in terms of scoring for Galleries Tower. 3 players at least with 2 points each, and the others have a point among the starters. Scrappy floor defense for Choco Mucho, and Rondina rewards Tang Ponce's efforts.
Yes. That was a great spike there coming from CC Rondina. Seeing Aiza Pontillas in front of her stable block. Just targeting the fingertips there to score that point. Yun talaga minsan kailangan na presence of mind as a spiker.
Alam mo, Alfred, first set pa lang, dami nang nabuhay na bola ni Ponce.
Yeah, that's one more. Oh, no.
Might have stepped on her teammate there. Si Rondina raw ang bahala. Coronel transfers to Pascual and drops.
Yeah, that coverage there on the side of the Flying Titans. They should communicate more, no? Pero commend the effort also coming from the defenders of Choco Mucho. You know, minsan yung mga ganong intention. You were already there. Tapon mo na katawan mo just to save the ball.
Hataw na.
Yeah.
Easy ball. Tight though. But able to find a way was Erica Deloria. Or rather, that one is a point for the Flying Titans.
Yeah, coming up the block.
Returned by Kat Tolentino. And so we are tied up again at 14. Our 6th deadlock here in set 1. But these errors again hurting the momentum. Nobody really having control of the game yet.
Yeah, especially in terms of service area or serving the ball well. They really want to score right away. Feel ko yun yung intention for both squads here na maka-ace ka agad eh. Pero minsan kasi yung mga servers is only you wanna disrupt the offense of your enemy eh. You need to serve hard, target someone. Bonus na lang pag naka-ace.
Yeah, what a set by Pia Andaya.
Yeah.
All the way to Kat Tolentino, avoiding the blockers. Inside it goes as Dina Wong is also in the game alongside din Santiago Manabat. Double substitution. Tingnan natin. 15 all. Coronel to Deloria. Cross-court hit.
Sabi ni Deloria, kahit mas matangkad kayo sa akin, kaya ko pa rin makapuntos.
She's shown it in the past couple of games as we go to the second technical timeout. Back inside the PhilOil Center in San Juan for your PVL 2026 All-Filipino Conference. And the match at hand is the Galleries Tower High Risers and the Choco Mucho Flying Titans, your second one of this Thursday doubleheader. A while ago, we had an exciting 5-setter between Capital One and Farm Fresh. At habang naghihintay tayo, Alfred, we could hear how loose Galleries Tower was warming up. You could really sense that they're coming off a high in that last game. Dahil katabi lang nila tayo nag-warm up sa room. And it shows here that they're playing well. Ang gaan ng feeling for them.
So, you know, as a team, no, it really takes time and training to gel a squad. Hindi naman agad-agad pagka-training na, pagkakuha ng mga players, championship caliber players or team na agad, no?
Yeah.
Yun yung pinapakita dito ng galleries. Every day, every training, every game, they're really improving.
Yeah. Slowly but surely.
Yeah.
As we also saw a double substitution on their side, Maji Mongalubnan and Laika Ebon in the game. However, that attack went out. And Best Cheng, back where she is so good. A while ago, already 2 aces. Kept alive by Choco Mucho. Rondina attacks. Verzosa brings it to Ebon. Wong. And Tiago Manabat with a free ball. Deloria. Ponce with a dive. Sisi again. Done by Verzosa. Back and forth we go. Exchanging attacks again, and it drops, but just out of the block. And a point for Dindin.
Yeah, a veteran move there coming from Dindin, no? Seeing that the blockers are stable, just letting it brush the fingertips of the blockers there to score that point.
Ebon will try another. Ball slowed down. Wong wants to go back row to Cheng. Mangulabnan sets up Deloria, who was blocked.
Again, that will be a hard time here for Deloria. All blockers in front of her. Yung mga ganong bola, already a break ball. Kaya alam natin, the blockers on the side of Choco Mucho are already stable.
Yeah.
So yun nga, she needs to target the fingertips, also even the hands, no, para outside na lang yung bola.
But on the side of Choco Mucho, you want to take advantage when you have Atol, Santiago Manabat. That time around, nakalusot.
So Deloria again, still her, changing or varying her attack, going long that time.
Only a 1-point game. As Deloria now at the service line. That's a good serve. But also good save from Cheng. And that is a check ball. Point for Rondina.
Because of her leaping ability, Sisi Rondina can really spike over the blockers here. Despite having Baliton and Ebon in front of you, you gotta expect her that she would really target that fingertips or even go down the line.
Service error though for Atienza. Shola Alvarez about to check in for Baliton. This is for serving.
And even for floor defense
Yep,
here.
sweeping too.
Yeah. Because you know it's really in the crucial parts of the set now. They need to step up their game in terms of defense, no?
18-19. Oh, fireball unleashed by Santiago Manapat.
They weren't expecting that ball coming from Dindin. Despite that set coming from Dina na medyo mababa, pero because of her reach, just like that, a flick of her wrist, going down the line, scoring that point.
Starters are back for the Flying Titans. Andaya and Tolentino. That's a good move for Laika Ebon, just finding the hole.
At least before being subbed out, managing to score a point for them, contributing well. Yun yung mga important roles sa mga double sub. Pag pinasok ka, you need to contribute in terms of blocking and offense, in terms of attacking.
Balik na rin si Coronel and Maizo Pontillas. Andaya goes to Rondina. Down it goes for CC.
It's a better set there coming from Andaya, no? Yun yung mga gustong bola ni Cici Rondina. Those low, fast sets. Seeing that hole in between the blockers. punching that score at a point, no?
You would know based on the reaction of the players also yung mga umatake, no? If they liked that set. Cheng this time breaks the block.
Yeah, but I want to comment Tang Ponzi here, no? Sobrang relaxed, defending the ball, just reading the ball super well, super good. And then executing that play coming from Andaya, scoring that point coming from Descheng. Kaya naman timeout dito ang Galleries Tower.
Ang pag-asisi, pumalo ng malakas, so kailangan maharang agad natin yung kamay natin. Ngayon, pag pinapahaba lang, tapat lang natin, deflate lang. Huwag nyo lang i-wave, yan nyo lang si depensa. Okay, tapos yung atake natin, habaan nyo lang. Kung malalaki, di habaan nyo lang habaan. Yan nyo lang pamatay sa dulo. Gamitin si Pipe tsaka si Ari.
On-point instructions there coming from Coach Aing. Kailangan gamitin yung pipe. And in terms of defense naman, sa net defense, he's saying na huwag mag-wave. Kasi minsan talaga, it's hard for the floor defense if the blockers would wave their hand, no? Their hands. Kasi nakatapat ka na, last second, bubukas yung area yun kasi nag-waving hand nila, dun mapupunta yung bola.
Let's see how they adjust after that timeout. Already down by 3 points. This is the biggest lead of Choco Mucho. Rizosa with the save. A chance. Back with Choco Mucho. Tolentino. And that is still playable. Kat says, isa pa. Ball slowed down. Coronel switches to the opposite. Easy over. Where will Julia go to? To the middle in Asis. Nabasa. Kat again. Net upstairs. And another exhausting exchange between these two teams.
Yeah, you can see the reaction there coming from Dean Asis, no? Coming from the middle. Talagang approaching always in terms of blocking. Mapadulo man sa kabilang side. Middle. It's really taxing for the middle blockers to go for the ball, no?
Broken play. Dalawang hinahabol ng Galleries Tower. They want to cut it. Still playable. No stoppage. And eventually, a 4 touches called by referee Erlindo Eusebio.
Yeah,
Will they challenge? Yep, Galleries Tower will ask for a block touch challenge.
Maizo Pontillas hoping that it kahit konti, fingertips lang talagang will be counted as a touch. Based from her reaction, kita niya na hindi talaga alam niya.
Nag-react na siya the moment she landed after her attack.
And the second referee already here. Yeah, definitely. Far from the distance.
Took a while, but that's the right call. Unsuccessful challenge for Coach Aing Esteban and company. Coach Dante, on the other hand, at a good spot. Alina Bicar is in the game to serve for the Flying Titans, who are 2 points away.
Now serving, Alina Bicar.
At the best first ball. Deloria trying to make do. That's reaching beyond for Choco Mucho, particularly on Tia Andaya.
She was trying to save that ball, no? Kita natin before that ball approaches the net. She was already ready to jump as high as she could, pero it's really close to the net there.
Serving for the high risers, Jean Asis.
Baleton, after a while, is back on the floor for the high risers, 21-23. Cheng with the approach. Coronel. Pascual wants it from the back. Play on. Des. Gives it to Kat. Still with the Flying Titans. Cheng powers it through. Oh, Cheng is down after her momentum brought her straight into the net. And she is taking her time. Slow to get up, but able to do so. I think she was also shocked with what happened, but it's a good thing that she is okay.
You know, that's quite scary also, no, coming from an injury before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, Cheng, of course, we know her history of injuries.
Yes.
We don't want that to happen. Let's see.
Yun, nagkatama ng tuhod si Baliton at si Cheng.
Yeah.
But before that, there was an error coming from Baliton. Net infraction.
But she is okay, and first we'll get this timeout on the floor.
Okay sana, kaso nga lang, nang-error tayo dun sa ano. Okay naman yung huddle natin eh. Kapit lang dun sa dulo. Huwag tayong bumigay. Tuloy lang, okay naman yung galaw natin eh. Focus lang talaga sila. So kailangan lang natin depensa tsaka maganda maikot. Okay? Na, kung ano, habaan mo lang. Habaan mo lang. Kahit idulo-dulo mo lang. Huwag mo ibaon. Kaya ano, kaya nag-ano yung okay, habulin natin, habulin natin.
Let's go, Galleries!
Yeah, Coach Aying always chill in terms of timeout, no? Instructing well. Talagang pinapakita na sa squad niya na hindi siya aligaga, no?
Yeah. 24-21. Choco Mucho at set point. Galleries Tower trying to save 3 of those. 1 down.
There you go. That's her bread and butter here for Aiza Maizo Pontillas going down the line. Kaya talagang dapat nag-uusap dito ang blockers and the floor defenders.
It's a good serve too. And an ace for ng Aiza. Back-to-back points to help her squad.
Nakita dito yung receiving error for the Flying Titans. Kaya naman sila mapapatay mo dito.
Dito si Jai. Dito si Ngayon, para mas maliwanag, Alina, Jai, Tia, and Des. Gets? Yes, Des. Nandito ka ako, Des, Tia, Jai, Des. Gitna ka.
Alina, gitna!
Gitna ka. Let's go, let's go.
Let's go!
Choco Mucho!
Yeah, I think the Flying Titans here, Coach Dante called a timeout kasi si Alina Bicar will be the setter.
So they were trying to fix your positioning.
Positioning kanina, kaya nagkalito doon. Nakita ni Aiza Maizo Pontillas there na they were collapsing in terms of receiving.
Let's see here. Oh, but they can't get that through. Easy ball. Galleries Tower can tie it up. Deloria, there's no touch. Oh, there is a check ball called eventually.
Yes. On the fingertips of that giant Yenza. Again, this will be a crucial rotation for the Flying Titans.
So we go to an extension here in set 1. 24 all. That's how tight it has been. Ponce so consistent. And that's the point for Choco Mucho. Des Cheng already with 7 points here in the first set.
Yeah, anywhere on any side of the court, expect that Des Cheng could score for her squad. She has been a leader since college days.
Yeah. Love to see these types of performances from Cheng. And an ace to close this one out.
Wow.
Specialty of the house for Des Cheng. Back-to-back points for her and the Flying Titans to take the opening set, 26-24. And we'll be back with set 2 after the break. back inside the Phil Oil Center in San Juan for your PVL 2026 All-Filipino Conference as we just finished set 1, the Choco Mucho Flying Titans. Get that over the Galleries Tower High Risers 26-24. It was a close one. Alfred, 9 deadlocks. 3 lead changes. The biggest lead for either team was at 3 points.
Yes.
And then that towards the end changed when Des Cheng went on a rampage. 8 points in the first set. But what else did you see dun sa set 1 na yun for Choco Mucho?
Well, for Choco Mucho, it was really their experience as a squad because, you know, they have been this core already ever since they joined the PVL. In terms of attacking, let's see the stats on the first set. 12-1, not that far, but it's because of the service aces with the help of Des Cheng. 3 service aces in that first set. Well, on the side of the Galleries Tower High Risers, they're there. They're really having a hard time lang in terms of floor defense, no? You know, the attackers coming from the Flying Titans are really capable of scoring. So now they need to manage how the floor defense and the net defense will be in sync. And especially the errors also on the side of the Galleries Tower na they're having that mini run pero nagkaka-error, giving that momentum back to Choco Mucho. But in the second set, I know they could really adjust here in terms of setting as well.
3 of those, as you mentioned, the aces coming from Des Cheng. And a total of 8 points. That's more than half of her total output already when they had that 5-setter against Capital One. Imagine, she had 15 points in 5 sets. Tonight, isang set pa lang nakakawala na. So maybe, just maybe, she could surpass that total as they try to figure things out dito sa set 2. Yung kanilang rotation and positioning. And we thank you all for joining us, of course, on One Sports and the Pilipinas live app. Dip Dipianco with Alfred Valbuena giving you the match. Jules Israel is at the sidelines helping us with the stories from our teams. So set 2 underway. Pascual will be blocked. And that's first point for Choco Mucho.
Yeah, if Choco Mucho would start it this way, it will be a story here in the second set. Coming from a hard serve, giving them a hard time there, especially in attacking on the side of the high risers.
As is wanting to tie her shoelace, but napituhan na ni referee Erlindo Eusebio. So play on. She has to play. Maizo Pontillas, dug by Ponce. Cheng, saved by Verzosa. Andaya sets up Cheng. Underhand back to Des. It's a long exchange here. And they come up short, and finally Gymnastics can tie her shoelace.
I think she was really worrying about that. No, talagang isang mali lang na makatapak ng shoelace mo, it would be a challenge for her to really go for the ball. Pero after that error coming from Catolentino, exhaustion you can see in her face. That was one of the longest rally.
Yeah, mahaba yun. Only the second point of the set. Ponce will go back to Cheng. Verzosa has also been great at the back. Deloria. Andaya. Good reflex. Coronel brings it back to Deloria. And Julia with the coverage. Chance for Choco Mucho. Tia tosses. Cheng attacks and scores.
That time, Des Cheng finding that hole. Seeing that Maizo Pontillas, only the blocker in front of her, deciding to go long and just swiping it off her hand, score that point.
Pecania with a serve. Asis will be the one to set up. Deloria, that is long. But there was a check. No complaints on the side of Choco Mucho.
So, squad of Coach Aying listening to his instructions. No, they want to spike long because of the tall blockers here of Choco Mucho.
Covered by Baliton. Second try. Nice to Pontillas, trying to go quick. Tolentino rolls over, courtesy of Atienza. Deloria. Napayungan. Oh, it drops for her.
Wow, what a smart move there coming from Deloria. You can see that the defense of Choco Mucho was scrambling. And in the last instance, walang blockers in front of her, just dumping the ball with that cut shot to score that point.
And Galleries Tower now with the lead, 3-2. Tolentino. That is a point for Cat.
Yeah, good thing. The spikers of Choco Mucho always ready. Kahit anong bolang ibigay sa kanila. Adjusting to the ball because they're having a hard time now in terms of passing, receiving the ball well due to the hard servers also coming from the Galleries Tower.
That was way wide for Cat Tolentino, and now we have a chance to hear this report from Jules Israel.
Dip and Alfred earning her very first Player of the Game honors. Rosel Baliton of the Galleries Tower High Risers told me that it all boils down to the nitty-gritty details. Rosel told me she has the basics of the game down, but it is in the polishing of her adjustments and techniques that makes all the difference. Whether it be hand placements during blocking or executing a play with different timings, Rosel added that these well-executed plays begin with their steady floor and net defense. It seems that they need to polish this for them to regain confidence in this second set. What do you think, Dip and Alfred?
Well, Jules, that was her strength in that last game against the Chameleons. As you mentioned, 7 blocks for her. That's something that, of course, they want to do again against Choco Mucho. Although so far, it's the Flying Titans playing better at the net in this match.
Yeah, we know Rose Baliton, number 2 in terms of best blockers here. And that time, scoring a point coming from an attack. And she's also inside or top 10 in the best servers. She has a total of 31 points before this match.
Going long there on the serve. Too long for Deloria. And a point for Choco Mucho. So tabla ulit tayo. 5-all. Chaying Esteban on his first conference as head coach of the High Risers. Coronel sets up Pascual. CC with a save. Tolentino had to take a pause there. That one was out for Deloria.
But it was a great execution coming from Coronel. No blockers in front of her. Minsan ganun talaga. Pag nakikita mo walang block challenge or no blockers in front of you, it's really you're really eager to spike the ball as hard as you can.
In the previous play, Kat was instructing Pia to give her a lower set. Rondina.
Yeah. So on the side of the High Risers, they need to penetrate their hands more. Kasi parang hinaharangan lang nila yung area eh. Yeah, Rondina, you know, one of the veteran players here, she can play around with the blocker's hand.
Yeah. 7-5 in favor of the Flying Titans. Good dodge for Deloria.
That trajectory of the ball, it seemed like it would really catch the end line, no? Pero yun nga, it's because of that strength also coming from that hit.
Six, 7. That's the point for Cici Rodina off the block. And that will take us to the first technical timeout. Back inside the PVL Center in San Juan for the matchup between the Galleries Tower High Risers and the Choco Mucho Flying Titans. This Thursday night, we are almost halfway through the elimination round. Majority of the teams have already played 5 games.
And I want to say also, I want to add, everyone would really battle it out, no? Lahat sila may talo.
Yeah.
Every team now suffered a loss.
So wala na yung undefeated
card na
right.
Straight to the semis.
That one out of the way. Kat Tolentino scoring another point. She's got 6 for Choco Mucho.
Si Kat Tolentino again challenging the blockers there, but because of the wrist action, it's really the hit on the blocker's hand that's taking effect.
Slide for Assis picked up by Ponce. Tolentino again goes far corner. A net touch on Jean Assis.
Really admitting it right away there. But it seemed like that hit coming from Tolentino was going out.
Looked like it, but this time nauna yung net fault. And already the biggest lead of Choco Mucho in this game. They try to increase it here. Coronel back set to Assis.
That running hit coming from Jean Assis since her college days has been effective, no? Mga ganon, that slide attack. And powering it home, smashing it towards the side of Choco Mucho.
Second overall pick in last year's PVL draft. Talking about Jean Assis. Oh, going for it. Andaya was ready. Tolentino. Picked up by Deloria. Pascual swings. Saved by Cheng. Cici goes up. And that is a block point for Galleries Tower.
Yeah, sometimes that initiative coming from Cici Rodina, no, trying to go deep cross. But you know, Jean Assis is there in front of you. Just try again doing her smarts na let it brush off the fingertips of the blockers.
Daiza was there. Pascual. And that drops for Gail Pascual.
There you go. Yung mga moves there na coming from Pascual. Now giving a hard time for the setter to really go for that offense, no, that she can play around with her attack and even score a point.
3 straight points now for Galleries Tower, and finally Choco Mucho breaks that mini run courtesy of Lorraine Pecaña.
This time Andaya going to the middle blockers for that attack. So yun ang medyo kulang dito in terms of attacking for the Flying Titans. Unlike here on the side of the Galleries Tower, Julia really maximizing her middle blocker in terms of attacking.
Pupuntahan niya si Assis, who already has 5 points, by the way. Cheng. This time Julia gets to it on time. Second try for the High Risers. They go to Aiza. Cheng. Nothing there. Coronel sets up Deloria. Ball is still up. Andaya again. Steady save. Outside for Rondina. Which means we are tied at 11.
Yeah, she was right under the ball there on the type attack. But I think they would challenge this.
We have a challenge from Choco Mucho for block touch.
Yeah, block touch.
They don't want their lead to go away. Well, they already had a 4-point advantage earlier. It was 10-6. Then 3 straight points scored by the high risers. Then back-to-back again this time. At again natin, ano magiging resulta ng block touch challenge?
Yeah, I was hoping that they would have a larger lead. Definitely no touch there in the replay.
So unsuccessful challenge for Choco Mucho. 11 all. Saved by Verzosa. Maizo Pontillas off the hands, and Galleries Tower overtakes Choco Mucho.
Yeah, just like that. After a 4-point lead coming from the Flying Titans, now the Galleries Tower taking that lead.
Nabawi agad ng Choco Mucho.
Yeah, they need more coming from the middle, no? Kasi yung mga blockers here on the side of the Galleries Towers are already anticipating that the ball will go pins.
Yeah. Pecaña, that was her 5th point. 4 players now from the Flying Titans with at least 5 points each. G. Nasis.
Yeah, but that time, sinabi niya, ako rin naman, kaya ko rin pumuntos ng mga A-quick or B-quick.
Yeah,
just like that.
He loves those. 13-12. Cheng. Difficult play to work with as that one coming from Andaya, and now a 2-point lead for the high risers.
What's nice about the strategy here coming from the Galleries Tower, they're really targeting Cici Rondina in terms of passing, no? Giving her a hard time to pass the ball. Pero that time, too much muscle on that serve coming from Asis.
And last second ditch for Rondina. Good read. Went out. Choco Mucho trail by only 1 point. Cat Tolentino with 6 points. Right behind Cheng's 10. Coronel back sets. Maizo Pontillas. That one saved by Ponce. Cheng is blocked by Baliton.
Yeah, no coverage on the side of the Flying Titans, no? So they were really expecting the ball would go deep there. Walang taong naiwan sa likod to get that coverage.
Back to a 2-point lead for the high risers. Easy ball. Coronel goes to Baliton. Finds the sweet spot and sends us to the second technical timeout. They're up by 3. Back inside the PVL Center in San Juan. Rosel Baleton. She is roaring here in set 2 as they are now up by 3 points.
Yeah, wanna look back in their previous game and that win against NX-LED, no? She scored 16 big points. Again, Rosel Baleton with 7 blocks. Huge win there.
Cheng, another block. This time Coronel.
Now they're really adjusting in terms of blocking. Just as you can see the block on the replay. Stable block penetrating their hands toward the side of the opponent. Talagang babalik yung bola.
Their turn to have a 4-point lead. Trying to make it 5. And they do so. Courtesy of Deloria.
The system now on the side of Gallery Towers has been effective, no?
Spike of the set brought to you by Duncan. Pasalubong ng bayan. Flying Titans looking for answers. Julia. Oh, you knew that was coming.
Yeah.
Went high up. And did the 1-2 for a point.
This has been the biggest lead for neither both teams, no? 6 points.
As we talked about pre-game, Julia Coronel, a solid foundation for them as their setter and captain. That's a blockbuster for Dindin Santiago Manabat. Nagpalit na rin ng setter si Coach Dante, bringing in Dina Wong.
Para lang maiba dito ang galaw ng Flying Titans.
Maddie enjoying her little snack. Baleton scores another.
Julia Coronel has been effective in terms of distributing the ball.
Yeah, and you know, this is what they're good at. Just spreading the wealth and getting help from everyone else from the team. Sumobra. Ponce keeps the ball up. And a point for Choco Mucho.
Dindin Santiago Manabat now again contributing well off the bench, and Dina Wong giving her trust and confidence.
All business with that look for Santiago Manabat as they try to fight back late in set 2. Still down by 5. Coronel to Pascual. Saved by Cheng. CC goes up. The drop covered by Gale. Back row for Deloria. It drops inside for Erica Deloria.
What a great floor defense here and communication on the side of the Galleries tower, no? Really anticipating those kinds of drop balls. Their outside hitter has been always on point in terms of those drop balls. Seeing the attacker always aware, no, kung saan mapupunta yung bola. Yung mga ganun saves is really crucial for that counter attack, which is happening, has been happening on the side of the Galleries tower.
And the response from Choco Mucho is to bring in Ea Laure, who is back on the floor for Choco Mucho after missing the last game. And Rondina, that may be the energy that she needs. Her sister and Ea on the floor with her.
You know, sometimes alam natin here, if you're really used to the kind of atmosphere having that first 6, no, yun kasi yung training nyo. Pero minsan pagdating sa laro, nag-iiba. Talagang iba rin yung feeling mo as a player.
Ibang gana. Tignan natin if they can make it back-to-back. CC fired up with back-to-back points.
Just like that. Kahit hindi pa masyado nakakapa ng bola dito si Ea Laura, pero the crowd on their feet after that CC Rondina point.
That's a really good ad that Maggie's doing at the back for her team. Buhay pa. Can they make it 3 straight? CC again this time. Blocked and almost kept alive by Ponce. But eventually it goes down for Galleries Tower.
Because of her initial reaction, seeing that the blocker was quite slow on that jump. Pero last instance, Asis is bringing her hands out to score that point of a block.
Oh, good save by Verzosa. And Erica Deloria now with 9 points and puts Galleries Tower up by 6. Timeout called by Coach Dante.
Nakihintay lang tayo na ano gagawin nila. Magkakamali ba sila o hindi? Samantalang every time, ito lang isang pumapalo eh. Ito lang lagi pumapalo. Pag hindi, backlog, may spin lang. Ay, hindi lang lagi tayo. Huwag kayong maghintay na magkamali sila. Aggressive tayo. Gawin natin. Alam naman natin ang gagawin nila every time. Cut-off. Ito ginagawa. Ay, tulak mo lang konti. Tulak mo lang konti. Then, yung spacing, ha.
Tay, kapitan, tay, kaya yan.
Heard the words from the Flying Titans huddle. Kapitan natin yan to see if they'll be able to hang on down by 6. Galleries Tower on the verge of equalizing in sets. Great effort from Deloria. That one over and a point for Choco Mucho.
Versosa was trying to set the ball close to the net for Aiza Maizo Pontillas, no? Pero alam natin, really challenging the blockers there. And now Ea Laure in front for the Flying Titans. Let's see how would her presence be felt in this match.
Camille Victoria also in the game, replacing Aiza Maizo Pontillas. Wong gives it to Ea on her first attempt, but dug by Coronel. Wong this time goes for it. Another one. Oh, Galleries Tower read that to perfection. Dina to Ea. Still playable. Deloria attacks. Back row for Rondina. And it drops.
A rally there coming from both squads, no? Back row after back row, but that time sees Rondina always ready in terms of attacking for her squad. Alam natin, Balaban, and she's really a fighter. Expect her to score a lot in terms of even serving.
Yeah, back-to-back for the Flying Titans. Pascual. Oh, Rondina with the incredible save. Coronel goes to her option in the middle. Bodies down on the floor for Choco Mucho. Sacrificing to keep the ball up. And it's paying off. But that time around, it is short for Laure. And Galleries Tower High Risers are now at set point.
Yeah, Ea Laure are hoping or trying to spike that ball over. Pero sometimes it's really hard coming from that angle and sobrang buka ng bola. So you need to just go for that drop ball.
Ang dami nang nakahiga dun sa Flying Titans kanina. Better attack this time from Laure. And she scores her first point of the match off the bench.
And of course, Lina Wong would find her best player in this kind of situation. Alam natin, he needs points.
One set point saved, and it is done. In set 2, as Erica Deloria gets her 10th point of the match. And more importantly, the High Risers get set 2. And we are tied at 1 set apiece. We'll be back with set 3 after this. back inside the PVL Center in San Juan for your PVL 2026 All-Filipino Conference, and the Galleries Tower High Risers strike back against the Choco Mucho Flying Titans. 1-all in terms of sets. As we take a look at the highlights, it was a strong start for the Flying Titans, Alfred. Lumamang pa sila ng 10-6. As we remember, and then after that, Galleries Tower slowly but surely came back in the set, and then they overtook towards the end of that.
You know what happened in that second set on the side of the high risers? It was their floor defense that has been on point. No, coming off the deflection of the blockers, the floor defense is already ready for those kinds of ball, and then yung counter attack, yun talaga yung nagpalamang sa kanila. Really having a hard time, giving the Flying Titans a hard time defending. A lot of balls distributed well coming from the setting of Julia Coronel. You can see on the attacks, no, mas marami ang atake dito ng Flying Titans, pero it all boiled down to the opponent errors, giving 3 more points. 3 points towards the high risers, and the blocking went well also on the side of high risers. On the side for the Choco Mucho Flying Titans naman, I think they need to communicate well, communicate more, and yun nga, they need to start stronger this time, and alam mo yun, manage nila yung emotions as well, na kailangan kahit lamang kayo ng 4 or 5 points, they need to focus and be patient, no? Hindi kasi 5 points pero malayo pa yung game, hindi naman forget 5 points na lamang mo, you already won that set, no? Yun yung ginawa dito ng high risers. Chinaga nila, every point mattered to them, everyone really on their feet, scrambling, man going to the set service area, giving the Flying Titans a hard time passing.
Now we have an interesting matchup in the leading scorers for both teams. Des Cheng with 10 points, Erica Deloria joining her in that column, also with 10 points. That last point from set 2 that sealed it for Galleries Tower. But again natin, anong adjustments yung gagawin ng Choco Mucho? Well, first off is to start this set with Ea Laure. She came in bandang dulo na ng set 2 after missing out on that match against Capital One. We last saw her when they faced Creamline. She got hurt, but she's back here. And first point goes to the high risers from that block.
Again, the duo of Jean Assis and Coronel, no, has been effective.
Coronel already with 5 points, and again, she has really excelled in playmaking tonight. Kat Tolentino with a solid one.
You know, if Tolentino would be relaxed on her approach, yung mga ganun lang, relax lang, tapos just flicking her wrist, wag na siya manggigil na talagang she needs to spike as hard as she can. Because the blockers are really stable. Minsan yung wrist action mo naiba if you're really tense with your swing or your shoulders.
Tough one for Choco Mucho. Galleries Tower, they try to take advantage, and they do so.
Aiza Pontillas now again scoring off the blocker's hand. Alam natin, she is one of the veterans as well. Maybe even the oldest player here in the court, no? Pero
doesn't seem like it.
Laban pa rin eh.
Nakikipagsabayan siya.
Yeah.
Back set to Kat. Ponce was there. Pecaña straight to Verzosa. And that one is set back by Pecaña.
That time, pouring out of a block coming from Pecaña, no? Timed the ball perfectly and really reading the ball well coming from Deloria's attack.
Overpass. Regalo couldn't capitalize. But another chance for the Flying Titans. Wong sets up Laure. Cornell gets it. Net fault. although Kat and Jaila denying that. Will they challenge?
I think it was the ball. Oh, yeah. Atienza. Yeah, definitely scrape on the top band.
Yeah, clearly. So no contention sa side ng Choco Mucho. Comes up short for Tolentino. So that's a 2-point lead now for Galleries Tower.
Again, error styling on the side of the Flying Titans. They need to be conscious on those kinds of errors.
Overpass. Coronel goes opposite to Maizo Pontillas.
Yan yung pala yung sinasabi, reiterating that counterattack. It was coming from a hard serve, breaking the offense of the Flying Titans, giving them a free ball. And you know, Julia Coronel has full front line, a lot of attackers for her. Kaya nakapunta sa lumalayo sila dito.
And again, the serving of Chinas's end, making it hard for Choco Mucho. And a net defense too for Nangaiza. Mapapatawag ng timeout si Coach Dante after that one. Stuffed by Maizo Pontillas as we listen to this huddle.
Yun naman ang naging problema. Medyo malayo, mahirap i-rebound. Mahirap kung gusto mong paluin, kung malayo, paluin na lang. Wala namang problema. Kaysa yung ibibigay mo na ibibigay. Pulahin mo na yung pasa. Then, guys, yung sa ginagawa nila, ang dami na ng out of system yung hindi natin makontrol. Like si Nang, kailangan kunin ko sa kanya. Huwag yung kapalan mo. Nandiyan naman siya. Okay, guys, maging agresibo tayo sa gagawin natin. Go, Let's go, let's go!
Let's go! Choco Mucho!
Yan yung in-explain din ni Coach Dante kay Ea about ng Aiza.
Yeah, because you know, Aiza Maizo has a lot of options in terms of attacking.
Yeah.
So, kailangan niyang basahin yung bola, tapatan yung bola. And you know, ang tagal na niya naglaro ng volleyball. So, nothing's new to her. Kailangan alam natin, she can really score a point.
Very smart. So, Coach Dante is talking about how Ea should adjust in terms of her blocking.
And of course, yun nga, for the Flying Titans, they really need to pass well, better in this set.
Tolentino back with Choco Mucho. This time to Laure, had to use her offhand. Ea again, second jump. Deloria off the block in a point.
Everything going towards the Galleries way, no? Point again for them.
As we go to the first technical timeout.
You're watching the PVL All-Filipino Conference in action live here in San Juan City Phil Oil Arena. I'm sure the PVL fans have noticed that Choco Mucho's earlier rotation is not their typical. With Tia Andaya attacking and Alina Bicar setting, that was something we don't usually see. And that's because in my earlier conversation with Coach Dante, he mentioned they're looking to creatively and resourcefully switch things up for them to put a stop to their losing skid. Apart from shaking things up, Ea Laure is happy to be back in the on-court action, and after being sidelined last game, sabi niya kulang pa sa patience and fire ang Flying Titans. They haven't practiced and played with each other for too long. They're still in the process of knowing who to activate and how best to maximize that dynamic. So let's see if this strategy works for the Flying Titans tonight. Dip and Alfred?
Thanks a lot, Jules. So thank you for clarifying that too, Nado. So that wasn't a mistake when we saw Tia and Alina on the floor together. I mean, they have three setters Actually, 4 in their lineup, even Jem Ferrer, who is not suited up. But Coach Dante trying to experiment, I guess, try out different things. And so we'll probably expect more of those as we go along in this conference. And as for Aya, it's just nice to see her back. And maybe just what they need to end this losing skid. But so far, you're going up against a Galleries Tower team na sobrang taas din ng confidence. It's gonna be tough tonight.
You know, because volleyball is really about adjustments, no, coming from the system, players, the coaching's decision. So kailangan everyone is ready, prepared, because you have the training. Kaya tayo may training here. You need to practice it inside that training. Feel ko yun naman yung ginagawa dito ng Choco Mucho on that instance kanina na Andaya was the spiker and Bicar was the setter there. That should be unusual already for them.
On the second one, Rochelle Baliton converts.
Chance ball, Baliton. Hindi niya kailangan masyadong tumalon. Pag nakita niya yung bola, just spiking it with her long hand, long reach to score that point.
Atienza underneath the ball, that is out.
She was slow on that slide attack. The ball was really far already. Talagang minsan pag hinahabol mo yung bola coming from a running quick, that could be, that would happen.
Jen Villegas is in the game for the first time for Choco Mucho. They go to Laure down the line.
Now Coach Dante shuffling his players, finding a spark coming off the bench, no? Hoping that Villegas would be that player. Pero challenge muna dito ang Galleries Tower for a ball in, ball out.
Oh, interesting. Maybe they saw something. It was right in front of their bench.
Yeah, this part.
Ano yan ni Aya Laure? Tingnan natin.
Sometimes kahit konting daplis lang talaga eh. Let's see the replay here. Coming from the down the line hit of Aya Laure. Yung sinasabi natin na sobrang konting daplis lang. Already considered in, no?
So unsuccessful challenge for Coach Shayin Esteban. And will be point for Flying Titans. Bit of a confusion there for them. We've seen that happen, I guess, a couple of times, a number of times.
Sometimes the players aren't aware on who would serve sa positioning, because yun nga minsan yung mga breaks na gano'n coming off a timeout or mga challenges na iba yung rotation eh.
All kept alive, but look at Choco Mucho. 3 players. Did they cross? That is what the coaching staff of Galleries Tower is arguing. There were 3 Flying Titans.
Yeah, I think the coaching staff here of the Galleries Tower saw that foot right away, no? Kaya napatawag eh. Kahit si Coach Ay nagulat. Nag-challenge. Diba parang nakita naman doon na foot fault because they're really scrambling there in the center line. Anybody's foot, no? Siguro from our area, natakpan eh. Kasi lahat nandun. Pero baka dun from the area of the coach's side, kita nila.
May sarili silang huddle dun sa gitna.
Yeah, let's see a replay.
It was Ponce.
There you go. It was Villegas.
Ponce was there, but Villegas. It was her foot.
Yes, definitely a foot fault. Getting that free point. But I want to commend on the effort there coming from the Flying Titans. Hindi talaga nila pinabagsak ng bola on that rally.
So 5 na ang abante ng Galleries Tower here in set 3. 11 attack points for Erica Deloria. Wong goes to Rondina. Pascual with a save. Julia goes back row to Deloria. Second try, this time to Baliton. Buhay pa. CC again, this time off the hands of a high riser.
Yeah, of the blockers hand there, or the hand of Julia Coronel. Now the Flying Titans has seen or found that hole in terms of the defense of the high risers going down the line. Kanina pa sila doon nakakapuntos.
Oh, look at Aya working hard at the back. Sent over. Julia with a smart move.
What a smart move there coming from Julia Coronel. Seeing that walang libero inside, she knows that the middle blocker would defend that ball. So minsan yung mga middle blockers wouldn't anticipate those kinds of balls, no?
Yeah.
Because they really intention is to defend the ball coming from the net.
And she guessed right. That was the right move. Tolentino outside. Lead starting to swell here in set 3.
Again, it's the errors that has been hurting the Flying Titans. Again, they need to be more consistent.
Oh! That's a solid spike from Lorraine Pecaña.
See in the replay here. Again, it's a rare find or a rare sit on the side of the Flying Titans. Going middle attack. Great find coming from Dina Wong.
Ponce gets it. Wong. Attack of Din dug by Verzosa. And then the conversion for Erica Deloria, who has really started to catch fire here with a dozen.
Again, Deloria has been effective in front and even from the back row, no? Really giving it her all in this matchup.
14-8. Wong had to chase Rondina. Saved by Verzosa. Pascual. High enough for Choco Mucho. And again, that Wong Pecaña connection works.
Oh, it's really easy to score a point for the middle. Just those kinds of fast dump ball or the power tip. No, yun talaga importante dito, that presence of mind. Na hindi mo kailangan paluin ng malakas because a point is a point. Pag bumagsak sa ball, yung bola sa floor, consider the point.
Unahan mo lang, no? When you see that the defense isn't properly set up. Wong, nilipat. Din will score.
Oh, yan ang kulang dito ng Flying Titans. An aggressive scorer. You can see Din Santiago coming off the bench, really hyping her squad, no? Kasi minsan alam mo, Dip coming off the bench, kita mo yung galaw ng teammates mo eh. It's really that gigil na gusto mong makatulong.
Gail Pascual with a strong hit of her own that goes straight and to Dina Wong. Hindi na naiangat ng Flying Titans. Lead back up to 5. Easy pickings for Maiza Pontillas. That is short for Pascual.
And we know, again, 4 players from the high risers scored double figures in their last game in their win, no? Naming Erica Deloria with 16 points and Pascual with 13.
Flying Titans going for it, but Ea Laure was red.
There you go, Gene Asif again with the block point. Technical timeout tayo dito.
The 2026 PVL All-Filipino Conference is in full swing. Watch it on the Pilipinas Live app anytime, anywhere. Also available on One Sports and One Sports Plus. So we're back inside the PhilOil Center in San Juan. Still, the match ongoing is Galleries Tower versus Choco Mucho. This is our second one of this Thursday doubleheader. A while ago, Capital One surviving the 5-setter against Farm Fresh. And also currently, by the way, we have an ongoing Gilas national game. National team versus New Zealand in the World Cup qualifiers. So make sure to also find out what's going on there. In the meantime, here in the PVL, 5-point lead again for Galleries Tower. Just when you thought na medyo nagkakaroon ulit ng buhay yung Choco Mucho this set, that's an error for them. They have read AS attacks so far. Coronel with the hot hand, saved by Rondina. Laure again, better attack this time from Ea.
Again, I think their system is to set the ball closely to the antenna so that Ea Laure could go for the down-the-line hit, which has been effective for both Ea Laure and Cici Rondina.
Julia had to go after that. Deloria, that is long. Again, back-to-back points for Choco Mucho, and trying to knock on the door here.
So again, the high riser needs to focus. No pressure because they're up. Oh, costly error again. Sayang eh, andun na sila eh. They're getting that run, pero because of that service error.
Dalawa na yun, this set.
That's taxing for them.
18-14. Tina, slide by Villegas off the block.
Yan ang kailangan dito. Coming from that slide attack. Again, you gotta be earlier or in front or ahead of the ball to have that option on where to hit.
Tina also trying to be unpredictable here. Oh, Villegas overpass though. So two things, including that net fault of Dina Wong.
See how the Choco Mucho adjust here in terms of offense, knowing that you have Cici Rondina in front and Ea Laure at the back, while you also have Dindin Santiago Manabat.
Yeah.
So a lot of options here.
Alvarez in the game to serve. Rondina with 11 points after that.
Sabi ni Cici Rondina, kaya ko na. Kahit dalawang blocks in front of you, I would manage this. Score a point for us.
Pascual. Kept alive by Ponce. And back row for Ea Laure. It's only a 2-point game now.
So ito ang hinahanap natin for the Flying Titans, the back row attack.
Spike on the set brought to you by Dunkin, pasalubong ng bayan. Here come the Flying Titans, Dindin's turn. Not there though, Coronel will attack. Ponce delivers to Rondina. And there's a block touch. Galleries denying.
Yeah, check ball there.
Yeah, Ash is saying at the last second that there was a touch. And don't look now, it's only a 1-point game. Timeout for the high risers.
Usapan lang natin, tingnan mo lang masama, kaya mo na yung depensa natin. Wala lang mag-win kasi tatapos na matatapos na kayo. Tapos, ang bola na doon na nakasiksik na. May 5 ka pa dito. Nakihintay to sa likod. Pag nakasiksik ka doon, nakasiksik na yung black. Kaya mo yung 5 na.
Timeout for Galleries Tower as their lead, which was at a high of 6 points earlier, it has now disappeared. Isa na lang, Alfred.
Yeah, narinig mo rin yung tone coming from Coach Aing there, yung sense of urgency, no?
Yeah, nagbago na rin.
Talagang kailangan niyang magising na dito yung squad niya.
Choco Mucho, by the way, they have not tasted the lead here in set 3, but they are close to it. Ginasis scores her 10th point, the second high riser to get into double digits behind Deloria.
Ginasis seeing that hole there, just dumping that ball.
Oh, and a service ace for their captain.
Now Junior Coronel surpassing her 5-point output in their last game. No?
Anim na puntos ni Coronel, and a timeout this time for Choco Mucho. Timeout by the Flying Titans. They trail by 3 points. Galleries Tower avoiding or wanting to avoid a meltdown here in set 3. Oh! Muntik pa.
Oh. No one was there. Pero buti na lang. Outside yung bola doon, or else it was a free point. A lucky point there.
That's the right phrase there. Buti na lang. 19-21, Rondina. Julia delivers it to Pascual. Gale. Laure. Oh! It could have gone to Deloria, but Coronel went for the touch.
Yeah. It was already going Deloria's way. But because of that initiative also coming from Coronel, pero yun talaga, important yung communication. Sumigaw ka lang ng akin na mine, bibigay mo na ng setter yun.
Covered. Second try, Pascual. Rondina with a save. Laude goes up, off the block and out. And we are tied at 21.
And just like that, the Choco Mucho Flying Titans, because of their patience and grit, ngayon, tied ball game. Talagang chiniga nila coming from the floor defense and the blocking.
They are back after being down by 6 points at the most. That one is out for Laure, asking for a check. Will they challenge? This time, Ginasis says there's none.
Yeah. Really confident. Kanina, sinasabi niya, wala. Pero, umamin din eh. Pero ngayon, wala eh. Hintay niyo muna mag-challenge dito. Sometimes the tactic also na, sige, challenge go. Pero, para mabusan eh.
Let's see here. The block touch challenge of Choco Mucho. Was there a block touch? Nope.
Oh. Yeah, wala nga.
So an unsuccessful challenge for Coach Dante. We are down by only 1 point though, so he must be pleased with the effort here and the fight from Choco Mucho. 6 points for Ea Laure off the bench for Pascual. She has 5 now serving. Tindin. Aiza Pontillas reaches the stretch for Ashes and the score.
As is always aggressive in terms of blocking and also on attacking, no? And that mentality coming from her. She knows that the squad needs her to be effective. Yun yung pinapakita niya dito in this ball game.
Back-to-back points, up by 2. But back down to 1 because of Ea Laure. 6 out of her 7 points, all here in set 3.
Expect that Ea Laure could score that point pag isang blocker lang sa harapan niya.
And look who's in to serve for Choco Mucho. Des Cheng, who had 3 aces in the first set. On deck, 22-23. But a good ball by Dali. Oh! Look out below!
Wow. Jean Arces has been the name for the high risers here. Natin, she can really score, pero that time, given an impact.
Set point for Galleries Tower. Laure and Ashes after that point with a good save. And then the finisher for Erica Deloria. That's consecutive points back-to-back.
As you see in the replay, Ashes doing everything for her squad. From the floor defense, the block, and even on offense in terms of attacking and giving a hard ball in terms of serving. No, yun talaga kailangan dito ng mga players from the high risers. They need to step up.
2-1 in favor of the high risers. We'll give you set 4 after the break. Back here on One Sports and the Pilipinas Live app for PVL action in the All-Filipino Conference. The Galleries Tower High Risers got set 3 over the Choco Mucho Flying Titans. They withstand that late set comeback attempt from Choco Mucho. Again, they led by as many as 6. Nagtabla pa tayo towards the end, Alfred, but then thanks to Jean Ashes and Erica Deloria, and of course the playmaking of Julia Coronel, they were able to get that set 3.
Yeah, you know, the Galleries are a young team, and the players, also the composition of the players here are quite young against the Flying Titans. Yeah, they had that rattle in that latter part of that third set, pero because of the smarts and that calm coaching from Coach Ai, nakita ng players niya na, oh, lamang naman tayo, ba't tayo nag-rattle dito? We just need to go back to the system and play our game. Yun ang nangyari despite having a lot of attacks here for the Flying Titans, 16 against 11. Pero yun nga, it's still the errors coming from them, giving 3 points to the high risers. But still that blocking and the service aces on the side of high risers being on par against the Flying Titans, no? So in order for the Choco Mucho Flying Titans to survive this matchup, again, they need to lessen first their errors, especially in serving and yung mga drop balls coming from the high risers, no? Nade-deflect naman nila yung bola coming from the attack, pero yun nga yung extra effort to run after that ball, and communication is a must as well.
Well, let's see how they will fare here in the fourth set. As we are moments away to resume this match, we thank you again for joining us this Thursday night. Nick DePianco, Alfred Valbuena, Jules Israel bringing you the match. Galleries Tower coming off a huge win, trying to make it back-to-back against a struggling Choco Mucho, who have lost 3 in a row. They too have different reasons for grinding this one out. Tignan natin as the first point goes to the High Risers.
Again, a block point right away here for the High Risers. Because you know, sometimes hindi naman puro atake lang ang kailangan dito ng isang team eh. Because a point coming from a block is a point as well. Yeah. And coming from a service area, it's a point. Kaya yun ang nangyari doon, and that's third set statistics. Yeah. They had 3 blocks and 2 points kahit mas mababa sila sa atake.
Case in point, exactly that. Kasi mas marami nga yung attacks nung Choco Mucho by 5. But other departments spelled the difference for High Risers. Back with the Flying Titans. Ponce will deliver to Dindin. Pascual. And Tina did not expect that ball to still go up. Yeah. So that is a point for Galleries Tower.
Again, now Pascual making her mark in this fourth set. Parang sinasabi niya, gusto nilang tapusin tong ball game na to. But I know the Flying Titans would really give their all and won't make that happen.
Gil Pascual serving. Wong, one-hand set to Rondina. Kept alive. Redo for Choco Mucho. Still saved. Ponce with the coverage. Laure from behind. That is out.
Yeah, too low on that set, I think, for Laure. Pero that was a great find coming from Dina. It's that consistency that we're talking about on the side of the Flying Titans here. Again, an error on their side.
Tecania, that is a bit low. Verzosa guides it towards Maizo Pontillas. Rondina, that hits the antenna after the block.
CC Rondina needs support from her squad here, from her teammates, no? Hindi naman pwede na puro siya lang ang makakapuntos. Let her handle that attacking spree. Her teammates should support her in terms of serving and even blocking. Floor defense as well.
Go! And that is the second ace of Lorraine Tecania in the match, for a total of 9 points already, as we get this report from Jules Israel.
Dip and Alfred, you mentioned how Erica Deloria is playing and giving her all on the court. And as one of the game's leading scorers, she echoed the same sentiment a while ago. She told me, Jules, I'm playing with all heart and hustle. After putting up 16 big points last game, she said it's trust that they have in each other that has been fueling their newfound winning momentum. Erica knows not every day might be a good game day, but it's the trait of trust and the habit of stepping up that has been the game changer for Galleries. She told me they don't want to just follow and chase their opponent's momentum. They want to be the ones to dictate it. Let's see if they walk home with their third win of the conference in this set. Dip and Alfred.
Thanks, Jules. But the story right now, though, is Lorraine Tecania with 3 straight aces for Choco Mucho.
You know, yung bola na paiba-iba eh. With that consistency as well, no? So now they need to join her.
Yeah. Maybe make it 4 in a row.
Ooh, almost.
And Deloria answers. So now we can go back to that report of Jules. Dahil nabalik na kay Erica yung spotlight. I mean, she really is a nice find for Galleries Tower. Part of this team, she is from Enderan, back in college. Played for Cherry Tigo also, but we know what happened to their team. leaving PVL and now finding a new home here in the High Risers.
Yeah, she can be a go-to player for her squad, no? Because of that fast hit coming from Deloria. That has been super effective for her.
What about Rondina though? Piling up the points, 14 already in total for CC. That one out for Santiago Manabat.
Now, she needs to get ready or be ready on the type attack. Alam natin, Dina Wong would not count her out in terms of attacking.
Dina to the sliding Villegas. Too little, too late.
Yeah, again, that floor defense, no, coming from that communication. Yun yung kailangan dito. They need to shout if they want to go for that ball. It's anybody's ball game.
6-all. Wong to Rondina. That is a check.
That time, Rondina using the fingertips of Baliton to score that point. Again, he needs more coming from her teammates.
7-6 in favor of Choco Mucho. That's the score. Coronel delivers to Baliton. Oh, great save by Rondina. Laure kept up. Deloria covered by Verzosa. Send over. Again. The reposition. Coronel will attack. And that one set back.
Yeah, the ball was quite close to the net there. Yeah, no block. And now, technical timeout for us.
Back inside the Phil Oil Center in San Juan for PVL Thursday. We got a fight going on as the Galleries Tower High Risers trail by 2 points. They are ahead in terms of sets. But Choco Mucho, one thing on their mind is to take this to 5 sets.
Yeah, because you know, again, they're on a losing spree here. They want to win and get back to that winning column. It's really hard for a team na tuloy-tuloy yung talo eh. Kasi it's the pride as well. Yung masasaktan.
Yeah, which could bring us to, I mean, this whole tournament format, Alfred.
Yeah.
When you're at the bottom of the standings, yes, you have a chance, but it's a longer round. Mas marami kang pagdadaanan.
A lot of games challenging the top teams, no?
So while they want to earn as many wins as possible.
Again, Aya Laure trying now to go deep cross, varying her attack, but that time too low on that contact.
7 serving 8. That one out.
Service, Villegas.
2-point lead for the Flying Titans. Villegas with the serve. Coronel chooses Baliton. Been a while since she scored. Laure with a blockbuster. And a 3-point lead for the Flying Titans.
Slowly but surely here for the Flying Titans. Getting back that lead and that rhythm in terms of offense. With the help of the floor defense coming from CC Rondina.
Just like that, Aya 1 point away from entering the double-digit mark. God, solid rejection from Lorraine Tecania, who has been excellent for Choco Mucho. I mean, everywhere from attacks, 4 blocks, 4 aces for a total of 12.
Yeah, it's huge for a middle blocker, no? Kasi alam natin, kaya nga sila tinawag the middle blocker, you gotta manage the net in terms of blocking. Pero nakaka-ace siya. Yun yung ibang aspects na kung saan ka pwede makapuntos, no? From the service line and from an attack.
And an error for the high risers. This lead now at 5 for Choco Mucho. And we see Eric Aragas entering the game for the first time. This is when coaches are tested and are dared to make changes. Let's see what Erica will be able to do here. But first, a free ball. Dina. Rondina from behind. That one short. So Choco Mucho stopped playing. They will challenge for sure. There was no whistle prior to that.
Yeah, I think if this wouldn't be successful for them, or if this would be successful for them, the high risers would call a challenge for that block or net touch, no? Pero I don't know. Let's hear the referees here.
Yeah, so they will allow that challenge. Dun sa atake ni Eric Aragas.
Yeah. Mukhang hindi. But I don't know. From my angle, it seemed like somewhat touchable. Pero yeah, it's hard to tell, no?
Yeah. So they're arguing that the attack of Ragas did not go over.
Yeah.
So let's see.
Pero we're expecting a counter challenge as well here.
We're seeing great performances from a number of players actually from both sides. This has been quality volleyball for Choco Mucho and Galleries Tower. So we're still waiting for the block touch challenge. They did not go over. So no block touch. Point will be awarded to the Flying Titans.
Okay, they got to regroup now. Talking about the high risers.
They're gonna give up a free ball. Wong goes to Pecaña, who has been on point.
Yeah, everything going towards the Choco Mucho side in this fourth set. From service area to the floor defense to the blocking. Kaya naman, timeout dito. Galleries Tower.
Reset nyo lang yung isip nyo. Then, hindi naman ganun kalakas yung bola. Huwag nyo hintayin tumama sa'yo. Tamaan nyo lang agad. Then, pag nag-out ng system, supporta lang tayo. Atakin nyo lang yung coverage. Ready lang agad. Okay? Dikit natin yung score na yan. Huwag nyo palayoy na palayoy.
Kaya natin ha. Kaya natin to. Let's go.
Kahit pinapasok lang yung serve. Tamaan nyo lang agad. Ha?
Let's go! Okay, Galleries! Go!
The timeout called by Coach Aing Esteban as they're down by 7 points. Choco Mucho has twice as many in the board. Momentum clearly on their side. Raagas doesn't make contact with the ball, and now an 8-point lead for Choco Mucho.
Again, I also want to commend Villegas here for a quality serve. Giving the Galleries Tower a hard time receiving the ball. And it takes about consistency.
Coronel pumps it to Pascual. CC with a save. Ea swings and scores. Ea Raslea now with 10 points on her comeback game after sitting out the last one. And we go to the second technical timeout.
10-0 run here for the Flying Titans. Let's see how Coach Aying and this squad, or 10-1 run, sorry, my bad. And yeah, after this technical timeout, how will they regroup and change things for the high risers, no?
It's a tough task, but at least you want to build habits that you will carry on sa pagpasok ng 5th set. If ever we go to that. But so far, it is looking like Choco Mucho wants that to happen. Although it's still a long ways to go here for Galleries Tower.
Yeah, we know Galleries can have that run. Kanina, kaya nilang makapuntos ng 6 points straight. So, again, anybody's ball game in this 4th set.
Laure. Oh, it will be tough to contain her now that she's gotten her groove.
Definitely.
Spike of the set brought by Duncan, pasalubong ng Bayan.
She has been unstoppable in this 4th set.
Pascual answers back.
Ito yung nawala dito on the side of the Galleries Tower, no? Those variations of attack. You can go down the line or even, again, activate Jean Assis, who is now in front.
Kept alive. What will Galleries do? Not the best for them in terms of execution. Dindin will score. Hammer time.
Yeah, that's a deadly swing there coming from Dindin. Again, Dina Wong, great find. Seeing Jean Assis committing towards Pecanya. Their last second, just bringing it towards the side of Dindin to score that point.
Oh! Kept alive though by the high risers. Second one. Pecanya delivers. Oh, she is having herself a ball game. Talking about Pecanya.
Pecanya being herself here in this 4th set.
11th overall pick in the 2024 PVL draft out of Arellano University. Now with 14 big points. And Laure adds an ace to her total. Everything pointing towards their direction.
Now, as you can see, Coach Aying subbing out his squad now for fresher legs. I think he's really surrendering this set. Because 5 points away for Choco Mucho to finish out this set. And a long way to go for the Galleries, no?
Again, we saw Ea come in late set 2. But it was just the right amount of build-up for her. And another service ace. Back-to-back for Ea Laure.
Sinabi natin kanina in the start of this 4th set, they need more coming from that department. At ayun ang pinakita dito. Coming from Pecanya and Laure.
Lead up to a dozen. But that one scored by Victoria, so it's back down to 11.
Let's see how Choco Mucho finish this set. So they need to still get that momentum, no? Build that momentum, build that confidence going into that 5th set. Not to relax. Kasi sometimes ganun nangyayari, natambakan mo siya, tapos going into, either you're tatambakan mo yung opponent mo, tapos going into 5th set, magre-relax ka. So that's really hard.
That one goes through for Santiago Manabat. The 4th, or rather the 5th Flying Titan in double digits.
Wow.
That's how loaded they are as a team.
It's also nice seeing the players off the bench now contributing well. And really eager to get that win for the Flying Titans.
Bubunot ulit si Coach Aying. Winnie Bedania now in the game for the first time para sa high risers. down big. Pecania, who had the time of her life at the service area kanina, commits a service error. She's allowed to do that, Alfred, dahil apat naman yung na-score na niya. Okay lang, sabi ni Coach Dante.
Wala yun.
Malit na bagay. Overpass, but they weren't ready. Alvarez, the attack was picked up. Rondina off the block and out.
And Rondina now finding that hit. So she's playing smarter in this fourth set. Seeing that hands is penetrating, using that fast ball or that wrist.
16 points already for Rondina. 23-11 is the score.
Yeah, I think Dina Wong had a slip there.
Yeah, and didn't her teammate catching her. Laura tried to dive and save, but to no avail. We like to see that from Choco Mucho, even if they're up by this much. Gusto nilang makuha pa rin yung mga ganong bola. Not giving up. Tina. Angeles now in as the libero. Cici gets to it. Wong. Laura from behind. Nothing there. Play on. Maggi. Redo to Alvarez. Laure with a save. Rondina with a drop. Still playable. We go on. Wong to Cici.
Dina Wong being her playmaker on that attempt. You can see that great accuracy of her throw towards Cici Rondina's side. All Cici Rondina needs to do on that possession was just to spike the ball.
Yeah.
Kasi nandun na sa hitting area na eh.
Set point para sa Choco Mucho, but that one is short. It looks like they have this one in the bag, this set 4. And we will go, or we could go to what would be the 6th, 5th setter.
Yeah.
Tignan natin muna to. Laure. And that's it. Laure punches it through the finisher for set 4. As we will extend and go to a 5th set. Take a look at that.
And good smart there because of the great serving from the Flying Titans that give them an edge, no?
Yeah.
That confidence, and of course that attack also coming from Pecania.
So we go to the 5th and final after this.
Welcome back to the Fuel Oil Flying V Center. Again, this would be our 6th game, having a 5th set match, courtesy of the Choco Mucho Flying Titans and the Galleries Tower High Risers. It was a battle of both squads in terms of serving, attacking, and floor defense. But credits to the side of the Choco Mucho Flying Titans, showing their grit And of course, their experience here, that caliber team na kayang-kaya lang makabangon coming from a loss or even down a set.
Yeah.
Di mo? Dip, kailangan nila dito mabuhay lang as a team, as a squad. Once one player would get going, alam natin, may sasama at masasama. Let's talk about the fourth set statistics here. Again, everything, yeah, going towards the Choco Mucho's side, no? 14 against 5 blocks and aces.
Everything.
5 service aces. Pero yeah, everything, even the opponent error. Yun, 6 big points. Binigyan na lang ng 6 points, 6 free points towards the side of the high risers. No? Again, they need to minimize that. Mostly coming from the service area. And let's see how both squads manage this fifth set. But we know the Choco Mucho here are already experienced players, are veterans players against the younger squad here of the high risers, no? And I know Nang Aiza Pontillas would lead her squad, so she needs to talk to her younger players, her younger teammates, no?
Yung ating leading scorers for both teams, Rondina with 17 points, Deloria has 15. No room for slow starts anymore in this set. This is going to be a quick race to 15. We are going to start this one off with a serve from Dina Wong. Thank you again for catching us on One Sports and the Pilipinas Live app. First one goes to the Flying Titans.
Yeah, Julia was trying to score that point out of the dump ball because the ball was close to the net there. Yun yung first instinct ng mga setters, no?
Oh, look at the hustle from CC. She wanted that ball. And they get the point.
Yeah, that time, Dina Wong.
With the first point.
Yeah, with a veteran play, no? Seeing the defense of the high risers scrambling, just decided to dump that ball in the center.
That's why you never give up on the play. Ponce gives it back. Underhand, Julia gets out of the way. Another one for Galleries Tower. Ponce. Almost, not quite.
But that time, Deloria changing her angle on attack. Because she has been trying to go down the line. But on that instance, deciding to go cross-court. Kaya yung depensa doon ni Ponce, nahirapan din.
Wong will choose Laure. Red. Oh, Coronel finds the sweet spot.
Again, we know she is an attacking setter, no? That time scoring that point for them, finding that hole. Seeing Ponce too low on that defense.
By the way, this is already our sixth, fifth setter in this All-Filipino Conference. Yung panglima, yung panglimang fifth set, kanina lang nangyari. So, dalawang 5 sets tayo for tonight.
This is really a long night for the PVL fans.
Laude breaking the block. 16 points off the bench.
Yeah, just like that, showing who really Aya Laude is, no? In terms of attacking. Ito na yung face na, that serious game face mode on.
She needs no introduction. We know her capabilities, which is why nung pinasok siya, there was a shift in terms of energy for Choco Mucho. We saw it from CC. And from the rest of the Flying Titans. But right now, Galleries Tower, they are faced with this challenge. That one almost went in for Baliton. They will challenge for a ball in, ball out. A test for these youngsters on whether or not they could maintain their composure after that big deficit in set 4. Again, this is a team coming off that win against Next Led, one of the more surprising wins for their young franchise. They're trying to do the same, which is to beat Choco Mucho for the first time in the PVL. Did that go in? It could hit the line. Yes, so. Yeah, it does. Similar to the attack of Ea Laure earlier in the match. Tumama rin. So close, but it was a successful challenge for the high risers, and they are ahead here 4-3. Pecania responds. What a game for her, Alfred.
Definitely, again, because of the trust and confidence coming from Dina Wong, no? Always attacking, always approaching. Yun yung maganda sa mga middle blockers eh. Huwag ka mapagod mag-approach kahit hindi ka bigyan ng bola. It's your job to catch a blocker there. Na may tatalon at may sasabay sa'yo to open up the wing spikers.
So she has had 4 aces here, but also has given up 4 points from that area too. No room for error now for the middle blocker. Rondina pinned in with the reflex. Ponce able to keep it alive. Coronel does the same. Assist to Pascual. Cross court. And it goes.
That time Pascual just going long on that attack. Ponce was expecting a sharper, a deeper attack coming from Pascual. But because of the blocker there deciding to go long.
Yeah. Parehong lumamang na yung Galleries Tower and Choco Mucho dito by at least 2 points. We're having a showdown, but Manabat answering quickly to cut that down to 1.
You know, din Santiago Manabat has been in this kind of games, no? Since her college days, yung mga talagang pipito na laro. Expect her that she can contribute well.
Passes flies in, towering over the net.
You know, Jean Assis still that swag of hers, that composure. You can see that attack. Her body was facing towards that cross court, pero that wrist action deciding to go down.
Well, she has that glide, no, for a middle blocker. Hindi lang pa vertical yung approach niya. Or rather Villegas, that was. Laure gets it. Rondina, nothing there. Back and forth. Jean Assis once again. Already with 14 points. As we get this report from Jules Israel.
The Choco Mucho Flying Titans want to stop a losing slide, while the Galleries Tower High Risers want to keep on climbing. In the huddle, all the Flying Titans got from Coach Dante was keep playing the way that they did in that last set. Sharp, sync, and composed. The pointers they received about patience and understanding have been working, and their top scorers and Ea Laure and Cici Rondina were also talking game plays. It seems that Choco Mucho finally found that much-needed spark just in time. Meanwhile, Galleries Tower High Risers were reminded by Coach Aying to let loose and change their approach. He noticed they've been playing a bit stiff and made sure to emphasize the enjoyment of the game. No tactics or strategy, but for the Galleries, it's all about flow and movement. It's anyone's game. Let's see what unfolds in this 5-set thriller. Let's throw it back to this timeout.
Let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go.
A timeout called by the Choco Mucho Flying Titans. But thank you, Jules, for that report as well, for breaking it down for us. Again, the story here is Choco Mucho trying to avoid their continued losing streak. If ever they go down here, it will be 4 straight losses for the Flying Titans. Their last win was their opening game.
Against Sakari,
yeah, against Sakari. They also had the 5-setter against Capital One, which they lost. For Galleries naman, nag-5 sets na rin sila previously against Zeus Coffee, which they won.
Yeah.
So really 2 different stories that we're covering right now.
Yeah, net touch there on Aiza Pontillas.
Alina Bicar and Kat Tolentino set to check in. This time, Bicar is the lone setter on the court. The last time we saw her, dalawa sila.
Yeah.
With Tia Andaya.
Now, Coach Dante going full front for his offense.
6'8". Assist. Nabasa. Nilipat sa kaliwa kay Deloria. That is 4 touches for Galleries Tower. Because it already hit the head on the way down from the attack.
Yeah. Everyone should be aware of those kinds of moments, no?
Isa na lang ang inahabol. Coronel, underhand to Deloria. And still playable. The push. Oh, Tolentino miscalculated or misjudged the moment. She goes for the attack. Pascual to Deloria. Kept alive. Setting up the play are the Flying Titans. And Ea Laure gets that one to tie it up at 8.
Of course, who are you gonna call on those kinds of moments, no?
Spike of the set brought to you by Duncan. Pasalubong ng bayan. That is a super spike from Ea Laure. 8-all. Can Choco Mucho get the lead? Not yet. Deloria battles. Pontillas back to Deloria. Breaking the block. Villegas is down. That goes through. Jean was lost and it drops for Laure. The Flying Titans are up by 1 after that 4-0 blast.
Again, that championship mentality of the players here of the Choco Mucho is taking part.
Para makapuntos ka, huwag mong ayawan yung bola mo. Wala tayong problema dun sa receive, pero yung atake natin, pero nandun pa rin yung coverage. Tsagain lang, patience lang, patience lang. Kailangan lumiscore, kailangan lumiscore.
Let's go, let's go! Come on! Hey, Galleries!
The Galleries Tower High Risers, they were up by 3 points a while ago when we switched sides of the net, 8-5. But then the Flying Titans come back, storm back with 4 straight points. The push. What a smart play from Kat Tolentino. This time with the right judgment.
Yeah, definitely. I was going to say that. Kita niya, no one is there behind for that coverage for the high risers scoring that point.
10-8. Choco Mucho up by 2. They go to assist.
Yeah, I was just about to say that Julia Coronel needs to find more of that A or the middle attack coming from assist, no? He has been their go-to scorer in this set.
15 points already for Assis. It's a good serve. Bicar goes to Laure. That clips the net. Julia goes to Deloria. Off the block and out. Another deadlock here. 10-all, 5 deadlocks, and 2 lead changes in this very thrilling set 5.
And a great judgment there coming from Jean Assis. She was about to attempt to get that ball, no?
Ooh, but Assis just a little too strong.
Yeah. Nerves kicking in.
Maybe, just maybe at this part of the match, there will be nerves. Coronel sets up Deloria. Easy play, picked up. Laure, covered by Villegas. Alina switches sides. Pascual gets it. And Choco Mucho will send it over. Here we go. Julia to Deloria.
Wow.
What a play.
Yeah. I think that was their first time running that patong play. Coming from Julia Coronel. You see that the blocker there of Choco Mucho is already attempting going for that middle attack. Grabe.
18 points for Deloria. 11 all. Down it goes for Catolentino.
Now Catolentino and Vicar sitting out. Again, it's Ina Wong and Dindin Manapa turn to score.
Julia goes back to Deloria. And that will drop a point for Erica Deloria. Now, with her highest output as a high riser, with 19 points, she had 18 in that win against Zeus Coffee, which also went into 5 sets. But right now, she has surpassed that total. And as I was about to say, they want the win more than anything else. But that serve will not help. That's 1 point added to Choco Mucho without breaking a sweat.
Yeah, costly error in this crucial moment of the game, no?
Laura is 1 point shy from her highest output as a Flying Titan. She had 19 against Kareem Line before she exited the game. Rondina, it drops for CC.
And just like that, the Flying Titans just 1 point away to break that losing skid.
18 points for CC Rondina, 18 for Ea. Their combination, that 1-2 punch, helping them out. Timeout for Galleries Tower. Tense moments. This game in a state of suspense as the Flying Titans have 2 match points. It's Laura serving for the match. Broken play. Deloria picked up by Ea. Tina goes to CC. Pascual was ready. Back row for Deloria. Dug by Laure. Rondina. Not yet. Santiago Manabat, no. Coronel. Again, back to Erica. But she couldn't get it. There's a stoppage in play.
I think a footfall challenge there.
We have a challenge to the rally from Choco Mucho for net fault.
Or net fault.
So they stop the rally. Coach Dante trying to figure out. Also, I'm not sure if it was his call, but nonetheless, the challenge will commence.
Yeah, challenge here.
Referee Erlito Eusebio signals the challenge for Choco Mucho in net fault is what they're asking. We initially thought it was the back row attack of Deloria, who was given multiple chances. Hindi lang niya maibaon because of the floor defense of Choco Mucho, specifically Ea Laure.
Yeah, I think they're challenging that block attempt coming from that spike of CC Rondina.
So this is also crucial because if this is unsuccessful, automatic point in for Galleries Tower because they stopped the rally. It's 14-12 in favor of the Flying Titans. We await the result of this. On the line is the losing streak of Choco Mucho. They're trying to end that, and there is a net fault.
Yeah, definitely a net over down from Pascual.
On the elbow, Phil Pascual. And a successful challenge for the smiling coach Dante Linsunurin. The Choco Mucho Flying Titans are back on the winning column. They end their 3-game losing skid and defeat Galleries Tower in 5 sets.
And again, I want to commend the high risers here for playing superb. But it's that initiative coming from the Flying Titans. Na they want to break that drought, that losing drought. They want to go back to the winning column. And they pounded their way through it. Hindi man in a fast way or in a fashionable manner, pero it took them quite a while, patience to get back there.
And even in set 4, it looked like they were convinced that they could rally back, and they did just that to end this one. High risers, nothing to be ashamed of. They also played a great game. They were actually up 2 sets to 1. Just faltered at 1 point in set 4, bumitaw. And in set 5, still kept on fighting, as our player of the game is now their very own Jules Israel. Go ahead, Jules.
Devin Alfred, I'm here with Lorraine Pecaña of the Choco Mucho Flying Titans, who put up 15 points, 7 attacks, 4 blocks, and 4 aces. Lorraine, congratulations! Napanalo na niyo ulit after 3 games. Anong pakiramdam?
Sobrang saya po kasi ito na yung step para mabalik namin yung kumpiyansa namin. Sobrang salamat po sa pagkapanalo. Yun lang po.
Alam ko yung kumpiyansa, importante yun sa'yo. Lorraine, nabanggit ni Lorraine sa akin na nag-extra effort ka talaga in training, stepping up as a role of middle blocker. Ngayon na nakamit mo yon, ano ang makikita pa namin sa'yo at sa Choco Mucho Flying Titans?
Siguro po, tiyaga pa po sa service. Ang dami ko pong errors sa service. So, ayun po yung mas tatrabahuhin ko pa ngayon.
Okay, and alam namin na may kailangan pang trabahuhin. And we also know na marami ring proud and na fans sa inyo. So may gusto ka bang batiin at pasalamatan?
Maraming salamat po sa Choco Mucho supporters. Lalong-lalo na po sa management namin. And also sa family ko po. Thank you po!
Devin Alfred, it was a long game day. Congratulations once again. And let's wrap this up.
Thank you so much, Jules. And there you have it. Well-deserved for Lorraine Pecaña. What a game for her. 15 points, built on 7 attacks, 4 blocks, and 4 aces. And ultimately, the win for Choco Mucho Flying Titans. We continue on Saturday, still here in San Juan at 4 p.m. It'll be the Signal Super Spikers facing the Akari Chargers at 4 p.m. And right after that, at 6:30, it'll be the Zeus Coffee Thunderbells taking on the PLDT High Speed Hitters. That does it for our PVL Thursday. On behalf of our director, Al Neri, our courtside reporter, Jules Israel, my partner, Alfred Balbuena, my name is Dip Dipianco, saying thank you for watching and sticking with us in this back-to-back 5-setters. This is the PVL 2026 All-Filipino Conference, the heart of volleyball.